Yolon True and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and it's time for another basic video for our new players in this game. I know that a lot of people joined the game recently and are playing it for the very first time, so I want to bring a little, let's say, Officer Academy today. But before I do this, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet, but if you do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. So let's talk about officers a bit. There are, meanwhile, loads of officers on this game, and they are a very important part of your ship, because if you don't have at least one officer on the ship, it can't even launch. And if you go to one of your ships, I clicked the one in Dock A already and click on Manage, then on the bottom left you can click Assign Officers, and there you can see certain things. The top three ones are on the bridge, and the middle one is the captain of the ship. And below deck you see a number of more slots as well, but all those officers add something to your ship. The captain, and I say this in every officer video, needs a captain maneuver. And the other officers on the bridge, as well as the captain, also need an officer ability. And that is something that gives a boost to your ship. Officers get stronger when you upgrade them and when you promote them and when you level them up, and then that strengthens your ship more and more in the time you do that. There are a few things every officer has, and you see that on the left side. It's showing for the full crew at the moment, but it's for every officer as well. They have attack, that provides a bonus to the attack capabilities of your ship. There's defense, which provides a bonus to your defensive capabilities of the ship. And there's health, which provides a bonus to your ship's shield health and hull health. And that depends on each and every officer. If we have a look at one of those and go to the info section, you see the different numbers there. The attack, defense, and health is what my captain here on the ship provides to my ship. And there's the captain maneuver and the officer ability. The captain maneuver is important now because he's the captain of the ship, so his captain maneuver will work, and this is in this case the captain's prerogative that increases the rewards gained from hostiles and armadas by 120% of base. And the officer ability is that it increases isolated cascade damage by 5% for 3 rounds each time you hit a non-armada hostile. And those both are working for this captain. If I wouldn't have a captain on the ship, it would show that I can't even launch. And the other 2 officers on the bridge will have their officer ability with them, plus the attack, defense, and health. And in this case, the officer ability is Settle Up, Lock and Load, and that increases isolated cascade damage by 20% versus non-armada hostiles. And Riker brings another officer ability to the bridge, Fears the True Enemy, and that increases critical hit chance by 4% for 4 rounds each time you score a hit, and that one's a weapon. So Picard brings the captain's maneuver and an officer ability, Riker brings an officer ability, and Data brings an officer ability, and all of them bring bonuses to attack, defense, and health. You can assign an officer just by clicking on the officers below, and there you can sort as much by different things, by strength, which is the normal one, by class, by below deck ability, by ship, group, attack, defense, health, and name. However what you're looking for at the moment. So if I just change it to below deck ability, it shows all officers that have a below deck ability. Because there are officers below deck. How many you can put below deck depends on your level of the ship That has nothing to do with ops level or whatever. It always has to do with the ship level. And you see there's one free spot that says ship level 35. That's where my ship is not yet at the moment. And all officers coming later are grayed out and with a red warning sign, because they don't add anything to the ship, because I don't have the level of the ship that they can be used on those spots where they are. But the first three ones below deck, Deanna Troi, you and Admiral Freeman, they look normal. And that's because they are in slots that are free already and that I can use. And in these cases, they not only also bring attack, defense, and health to the ship, they also bring below deck abilities. And you see that Picard and Riker, for example, just have the normal command side on the bottom left, and Data, Troi, you, and Freeman have this different one with a white background, and those show that they have below deck abilities. And Data's is not used because he's on the bridge, but I used those of Troi, you, and Admiral Freeman in this case. And just to have a look, Troy's 3 shots of something, which increases critical hit damage by 30% versus armadas and hostiles, is used. And you see the attack, defense, and health of her as well. That adds to my ship power. And that applies to all the officers. So below deck, of course, besides the fact that you want to add attack, health, and defense to your ship as well, you will look for an officer that also brings a below deck ability. And as I said, if you just tap on one officer and tap on the slot where you want him, then he will be there. And now you have to click confirm after you put all the officers on the ship that you want. If you don't do this, you can also discard the changes. If you made a mistake, then just go back. Then there will be a warning. Are you sure you want to leave? You have made unconfirmed changes to the officers on the ship. And if I click discard, everything will be as before and no changes made. But I will do cancel and I will confirm so that this is changed. And now we have the officers on the bridge that I just put there. And there's one more thing you can see on the bridge of the ship, especially now in my case. I'm talking about this a lot when I'm talking about officers, and that is when I talk about the group of every officer, that if he's captain, he can get synergy from another officer of that group, or can give synergy to another captain of that group if he's on the bridge with them. And here you see one of those examples. Picard, my Enterprise E Picard, is the captain of the ship, and Enterprise E Data and Enterprise E Riker, which are all part of the same group, are given synergy to Captain Picard on the captain's chair. Synergy means they give a boost to the captain's ability. In this case, Riker gives another 20%, Data gives another 40% to the captain maneuver. And the captain maneuver was that increases the reward gained from hostiles and armadas by 120%, and Data gives him a boost of 40% and Riker a boost of 20%. And that is the synergy I'm always talking about when I talk about the groups. But it only works with the officers from the same group. If I put you in, who's from another group, it's suddenly gone. But you can see it if I put Enterprise E Troi in. Okay, here we come to the discard thing I just talked about because I misclicked. That's why the discard button is good. You see Enterprise E Troi has this yellow symbol with the lightning on it as well. That means she is from the same group and can give synergy to that captain. You can could also see it here if I had more people from that group, which I don't. But if we, for example, put you on the captain's chair, then you see Galena would help, you see 7 of 11 would help, and so on. But if we exchange Riker with Troi, Troi would give 40% and suddenly Data will only give 20%. It's fun, isn't it? I never really understood why this changes there, but there are still some miracles for me as well. But if you click that, it also tells you what it is. Synergy is the benefit a captain gains from the bridge officers, and diverse experience prove the most benefit to the captain, so it's preferable to put an officer of each class on the ship. So in this case, he probably would tell me to use an uncommon officer, but I don't have one of the. I don't even know Enterprise E crew doesn't have an uncommon officer. Nevertheless, it works with different officers here. One example, if we put you in here for a second, and I click group, one example for the mix would be my usual Borg crew, where I put all three classes on. I have an epic one as captain, a rare one on the bridge, and an uncommon one on the bridge. And so the rare one gives more than the uncommon one in this case. But they are adding a lot of synergy, and you see it's different. In this case, it's 400% and 200%. In Picard's case, it was 20 and 40%. But that's always a boost of the captain ability. And that's something you have to keep in mind, but it's not always the best to have a synergy crew. In my Picard case, for the users I need them, it's absolutely good to have this full Enterprise E crew on the bridge. But there are many other cases where it's not the case. One of this is the silent enemy crew, for example. They have a mix because the mix is more important than the synergy. In my different mission boss crews, there is no synergy at all, but I need the different abilities to work together to be a really good crew. So synergy is not the most important thing. But in some cases, when you can use it, like my normal hostile hunting, I do with my normal Picard, Enterprise E Picard crew with Data and Riker, or in waves, I use the Enterprise E crew with Riker as captain for the impulse speed. There it's working quite nicely. But synergy is not the almighty thing. It's helpful if it makes sense at that moment to have a crew from one group, like it is often with the Borg crew, for example, or with the Enterprise E crew. But in other cases, it's more important to combine different abilities than have synergy. So don't always look for synergy. Look for the right crew for the right task as well. And I talked about the upgrading part as well. Today I made some notes so I don't forget something there, because that's important as well. You can either click on one of the officers itself, or you go to the main screen. We'll see if it works today. Yes. And there is it was a little bit fast. On the top left, there are ships and then officers. If you click officers there, you will have all the officers here that you have and you don't have. And you can sort here again if you're looking for a certain officer by level, by rank, by class, by upgradable, below deck ability, ship, group, strength, rarity, or name. I always click name to decide which is the next officer for my videos, because I'm doing an A to Z list and I'm taking the list that is created when I click name here. But in this case, talking about upgrading, we just click on upgradable. Then we get a list of officers that can be upgraded at the moment. There are some officers I could upgrade. I'm not doing that at the moment, but I could, because they need something I need for better officers, and so I'm not doing that. You always see, in this case, if you can promote them, what you need for them. For 8 of 11, I need 5,200 independent credits, 2, what are those again? Engineering badges, and 200 active nanoprobes, because they're Borg. But I can go to Joaquin as well. It looks a bit different. There I need officer experience points, independent credits, and command badges. And that will get more and more expensive the higher you get with an officer. That is to promote them to the next step, so to speak. And he's lieutenant commander now. You can see it with other officers. I don't know who is lower. They're all level 20. We just can have a look at Krell. He's a lieutenant, and that's with promoting. And when you promote them one more step, then you can level them up again. I'm not promoting any of them now, but I still have some that can be leveled up, and we can go to one of those to see that part. When you promoted one, you can also level them up 5 more steps that you can see with Paul Stamets here. For that, you only need officer experience points. But leveling them up will give you more attack, defense, and health, and in some cases adds percentages to their abilities. And with the newest officers, we finally see something like when you got it new, brings so much percent of a chance to do this or that. And on level 20, it brings this percentage. That's new. They've never shown that before, but they're doing that now. For example, I think it might be that you was one of them. Yes. You see on usually he brings an extra 5% of raw crystal ore, gas, and ore, and on level on rank 5, not level 5, on rank 5. Ensign is rank 1, and then we go up. You've seen lieutenant, lieutenant commander, and so on. On rank 5, he will bring 25%. So not only his attack, defense, and health will rise, but also the percentages of his officer ability will rise. And that's important here to promote and to level up these officers. In his case, the 5th rank will be important. So you have to keep an eye on your officers, but you also have to set priorities once again. And a lot of in this game is setting priorities, because there are certain officers you will need for a long time. There are other officers you only need for a short time. If you have both kinds of them in your list here and can upgrade both, it's like with the ones with the uncommon officers I have here on top. They're not the most important officers I have, so I'm saving the credits for different officers that I really want to upgrade. You will always have to prioritize. You will never have enough stuff to do it all at once, and so I'm prioritizing. So the next ones after when I don't, I'm working on, for example, is Grush, and he needs loads of independent credits, as you can see, which I don't have. And so I save the independent credits I could use on the others until I finally can upgrade Grush. And that's the thing where you have to make your priorities, especially upgrade the important crews when you can, like PMC. And there are some officers you rarely use or just send to away teams. They don't need to be upgraded that much. But that's the away team thing as well. I don't think I can upgrade anything there at the moment, because I spent that for the event yesterday. But that's another thing you have to keep an eye on. When you've got the trade XPs, you can upgrade the away team abilities those officers have. First, you have to unlock them all, and while unlocking the first and second, you're upgrading them as well. And that is where you have to make priorities again. Officers that you usually won't use on a ship but are helpful for away teams, use the trade XPs on them, use the other stuff first on the officers you really need on your ships, and then you will have a good combination of away team officers and of ship officers. As you can see, this mod I usually send to away team, so I will keep upgrading him here first before I upgrade him the normal way. You see, I could upgrade him as well, but I'm not doing that because Grush is more important for me at the moment for that. because there will be warp range issues again once I reach certain levels again. And that's why officers are so important in this game. Not only there's certain abilities, there's certain crews for special stuff, and I made a lot of crew videos already that I really need every day as well, because for different tasks I need different crews, because there's no one crew that works on everything. And so you have to really have an eye on the officers and have to know how to use them. And that's why I wanted to make this little officer guide again, and I will do some more of those basic videos in between, although we are going to a new part of the arc very soon. Then there will be stuff about new stuff again. But at the moment I always want to inject from time to time those basic videos for our newest players here. If you want to add something about officers, I know that I have a lot of experienced players watching as well. Our new friends here on this game will be very happy about your opinion and your input as well. But if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I read your comments regularly. And if you just want to see another video right now, the next one is right here on the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.